In 2026, you can make a game with zero money, zero experience, and a laptop that sounds more like a jet engine than a laptop. But most people still quit. So today I'll tell you exactly what you need to start making games in 2026 and what actually matters. If you click on this video, there is a very high chance you've thought, I want to make games, but where do I even start? Yes, you, the one who's watching this. Hi. So let's answer one simple question. What do you really need to become a game developer? Well, creativity and innovation never dies. You don't need a unique idea, you just need a start. Your idea can be about basically anything and everything. A mechanic, a story, a character, or literally, what if jumping felt really good? Every game starts right here. Okay, now comes the real fun part. Choosing a game engine. Think of a game engine like a kitchen. Code, art, sound, logic, everything gets cooked here. Now, technically you can make a game with an integrated development environment, but if you're just starting out, please don't, because I care about your mental health. Now, game engine comes in all sizes and forms. Some of them include, but not limited to, are an absolute beast. Unreal Engine is an absolute beast. It's used for AAA quality games, it's used for films, and it's used for Oscar-winning animations. War is Over, which is one of the best animated short films ever made, is rendered in Unreal. And here's the crazy part. It's entirely free. Unreal uses C++, which is for the brave people out there, and Blueprints, which is also called visual scripting, that is also known as Lego programming. So, no coding, no typing, just vibing. Hey, that kind of rhymes. Made with Unity. The game engine your dad recommends, your dentist recommend, and your dad's dentist recommend. How should I start game dev? Which game engine is bad for you? Will my dad ever come back with milk? Sorry, that Unity can't do. But Unity's particle system can. Right? Unity is super popular because it can make literally anything. Games, apps, simulation. Just last week I made a Telegram app with Unity. Yes, app, not a game. But obviously you can make all sorts of games with it. From low-end 2D games to high-end console and PC games with beautiful graphics. Unity uses C# as its primary programming language, which is easy to learn, it's powerful, and it's fast. Kids game engine. Oh, just kidding. Godot is lightweight, it's open source, and it's amazing for 2D and 3D work. Godot provides a nice visual editor which is really easy to pick up. You can use C#, C++, or its very own GD script, which is also really easy to pick up. Although personally I don't like its node system, I think it can be a little bit simple, but that's just my own crappy opinion, so don't listen to it. And guess what? Its size, 35 MBs. Yes, megabytes, not gigabytes, and that too just 35 of them. Mic drop. You will find hundreds of tutorials online, hundreds of how to do X, Y, Z. In fact, I have made quite a lot of them so that you don't waste your time trying to find a single button that opens a single window. But one advice that I always give is that never try to reinvent the wheel, but that doesn't mean don't understand how the wheel works. Say you have just written a code. Transform position is equal to whatever. You understand what it does. It basically just moves an object to a certain position in a 3D space. Why? Why does it do it? Why does it say transform.position here, not transform.rotation here? Or why does it say transform.position in the starting part and not in the secondary part? Why does this work? Because if you start to do this, you might think that yeah, you can do programming now, but have you actually learned anything if you have just copied it? So remember, it's okay to copy code from tutorials and ChatGPT. In fact, I still do that. But, and this is a very big but, understand what the code actually is. Alright, the next part, the stuff in game. Remember, games is not just about programming. I mean, it is the most important part, but not the only part. Just think for a second. When you first see a game, do you think, oh man, the sheer amount of time it must have taken to program all this stuff, or oh, colors, wow. 2D art, 3D models, UI, music, SFX, VFX. These are the things that a player notices firsthand. But remember, these are secondary stuff, but not to be confused by not important. These are as important as programming, but these are the stuff that you do once your base game is done using just triangles and rectangles. Now I am much into programming and mechanics and not much into arts. But does that mean I never learned to do arts? No. Why? Because you can't make a game without them. Fortunately, if you're like me, there is a vast library of stuff for game available on the internet, and a lot of that is entirely free. Multiple resources include but not limited to are itch.io, Asset Store, and most engines have their own asset store, Sketchfab, and a lot more. All you have to do is just search. Now for the two most important thing, the 3D stuff and the 2D stuff, I will recommend going for Photoshop, or if you can go for a Sprite. It's excellent for 2D art. I still use it. Now I won't pretend that I know a lot about 2D art, because again, I'm not much into 2D art. But yeah, for 3D, close your eyes, type Blender 3D download on your browser and just download it. It's entirely free, it's open source, and still it's the industry standard for making 3D stuff. It's great for doing basically everything in regards to 3D modeling. Now Blender deserves its own video, so I won't say much about it, but you can download it without thinking twice. I personally am a computer application major, and I would highly recommend joining a class online or offline if you're in school or in college about introduction to programming. My own study has helped me a lot in understanding how gamedev works. Even though my study was about Java, C++, database management, and web development, those things gave me an edge to take a dive in gamedev. Think of it like this. Wouldn't it be easier for a person to drive a truck who have driven a car than a person who have never driven before? It's probably my worst analogy, but I hope you understand. Burnout. You will burn out. One day you're unstoppable, and the next day you feel like you did nothing. One day you feel like, today I'll make the entire freaking game, which is exactly when I'm pretty sure you're watching this video. And the next day you'll feel like nothing. That's game dev. And remember, most of your first ideas will probably fail. Don't just jump into this boat like thinking every first game, like the first game you'll make and you'll automatically become a freaking millionaire or something like that. If you jump into this industry for just money, I honestly wouldn't even recommend you doing this. Do something else then. But if you're jumping into this industry because you love to play and make games, and you always have a creative thinking like how does this thing happen, then yeah, dive head first. And again, like I said, most of your first ideas will fail. But the thing is that, like I always say, you can never make it to your 12th or your 15th idea, which will succeed if you never make your first one. If you're starting game dev in 2026, comment starting. And if you don't want tutorials that don't waste your time, subscribe. Cheers and peace, and keep making awesome stuff.